Welcome back. This is actually our final deep dive, drawing from those fascinating Marifat conversations with Dr. Dinani and Dr. Larijani.
Our 40th exploration. Can you believe it?
I know, and today we're really zeroing in on one figure, the celebrated Persian poet Hafez Shirazi.
A figure who came up again and again in the discussion.
Exactly. And you, listening, maybe you're someone interested in, how to really get knowledge deeply without just feeling buried by facts. Well, Hafez, especially through the lens of these Marifat talks, seems to offer a unique way forward. Just a reminder, this is our interpretation of translated conversations, so some nuances might be subtle. We do apologize for any discrepancies.
And what's really compelling, thinking about Hafez via Dr. Dinani and Dr. Larijani, is how his poetry wasn't treated just as beautiful literature.
Yeah.
It was presented more as a key, a lens to understand what it means to be human. Dr. Dinani especially stressed this.
Using familiar things.
Exactly. Nature, wine, everyday life, but pointing towards something much deeper. Our inner world. He's asking fundamental questions about authenticity, about insight.
Yeah.
So if you've been with us, or even if you just feel that modern pressure to know everything, but want something more than just noise.
Yeah.
Hafez, as discussed in Marifat, points inward. Understand yourself first. That's our mission today.
Yeah.
To really dig into one specific, almost riddle-like verse of his.
A verse that speaks directly to this idea of inner understanding, inner purification.
Okay, so here it is. It's the opening of a ghazal. A traveler, at dawn, poses this riddle. Oh, Sufi, wine becomes pure when it remains in the glass for 40 days. All right, let's unpack that. Starting with the time. Dawn, Sahar. Why is dawn so important for Hafez?
Well, in Hafez's world, and definitely in how Dr. Larijani and Dr. Dinani talked about him, dawn isn't just sunrise, it's symbolic. Awakening, insight, clarity breaking through the darkness. It's seen as a blessed time, a time when the veil is thin, perfect for spiritual awareness. That really resonates. Those moments, maybe super early morning when your head just feels clear?
Yeah, precisely. Hafez taps into that. He sees that heightened state as crucial for going deeper.
Okay. And the traveler is in a land, just a land Sarzamini, not specific. What's the significance of leaving it undefined?
Yes. Dr. Dinani often pointed this out. By not naming a place, Hafez immediately directs us inward.
Not a map location.
Exactly. It's not about geography. It's the inner landscape, the territory of the soul. That's where the real journey, the real purification happens. Your body's the vessel, sure, but the inner self, that's the land.
So the real quest isn't outward, collecting facts in some far-off place, but cultivating your own internal Sarzamini.
You got it.
Now, the riddle is aimed at, oh, Sufi. What did Sufi mean in Hafez's context, according to these discussions? Was it just a label?
That's a really critical point. For Hafez, and this came through strongly in the Marifat talks, Sufi wasn't just about, wearing the patched cloak or belonging to an order.
There's more to it.
Much more. The root word, saf, both Dr. Dani and Dr. Larijani mentioned, this means pure, clear. So a true Sufi, in Hafez's view, is someone striving for or embodying inner purity. A heart cleansed of ego, negativity, attachments, all the stuff that clouds our inner vision.
So it's an internal state. Saf, clear,
Yeah.
not just an external identity.
Absolutely. And Hafez, as we heard, could be quite critical of those who claimed the title, but lacked that inner clarity.
Which brings us right to the core of the riddle. The wine. It becomes pure after 40 days in the glass. Arba'een? 40 days. What's so special about 40?
Arba'een. Yeah, that number 40, it carries immense weight in Islamic mystical thought. This was a theme Dr. Dinani returned to often when discussing Hafez.
How so?
It's widely seen as a period symbolizing profound change, transformation, purification. There's a well-known hadith, a saying, about dedicating 40 mornings purely to God.
40 mornings?
Purely, sincerely for God, and wisdom will flow from your heart to your tongue. But Dr. Dinani always hammered home the condition, akhlasa.
Al-Lasa?
Pure, selfless intention. Without that absolute sincerity, just going through the motions for 40 days, well, it doesn't unlock that transformation. The intention is the key.
That actually reminds me of that story Dr. Dinani told about Mullah Muzinfa Kashani.
Oh, yes. The scholar who did the 40-day retreats.
Right. He did them seeking wisdom, but felt blocked. Nothing happened.
Until he realized
his intention wasn't purely for God. There was some ego mixed in, wanting personal gain or recognition.
Exactly. Once he corrected his akhlasa, his intention, then the wisdom started flowing. It really drives home that the why behind the 40 days is everything.
Wow. So it's not magic, it's the sincerity.
Precisely. And the number 40 itself, it has Quranic echoes too, right? Moses on Mount Sinai for 40 nights.
Oh, right.
So while it's not about like strict numerology, 40 often represents this period of completion, gestation, development. Things need time to mature, to refine.
Like a spiritual incubation.
That's a great way to put it. A spiritual gestation period. The impurities, the sediment in the wine, they need that time to settle out for the pure essence to emerge.
So the wine, our soul, our inner self, needs this dedicated time, the 40 days, within the glass of ourselves, driven by that pure, selfless intention, akhlasa, to become clear, saf.
And without that sincerity, Hafez implies any outward show of piety or knowledge is just superficial, empty.
And we definitely picked up from the Marifat talks that Hafez had strong feelings about that kind of hypocrisy.
Oh, absolutely. He frequently went after the Zahiriyeh.
The outwardly pious hypocrite.
Yes, those who wore the Sufi cloak, the appearance of spirituality, but whose hearts were, well, something else entirely. Remember that famous line?
Which one?
The Sufi's patched cloak isn't just pure wine. Many a dervish cloak deserves the fire.
Oof. Strong words.
Very. It underlines his whole point. True value is internal purity, not the external trapping. Especially relevant, given the insincere rulers and religious figures of his own time.
So putting it all together, this Arba'een, this 40-day period, it isn't some quick fix or magic number.
Not at all.
It's a symbol, a potent symbol for the sustained, focused, sincere effort needed for genuine inner change.
Yes. Cleansing the heart, clearing out the impurities like hypocrisy, and doing it with that pure, unwavering intention, that akhlasa.
That about the quality of the time, not just the quantity.
That's exactly right. That journey to real understanding, to knowledge that truly transforms you, it demands that same kind of dedicated inner work, that Arba'een of the soul fueled by sincerity.
So as we wrap up this final deep dive, looking back at Hafez through the lens of Dr. Dinani and Dr. Larijani's discussions on Marifat, it really feels like the core message is about responsibility.
Responsibility? How so?
The responsibility we have for our own inner landscape, to cultivate it.
Yeah.
This idea of Arbe, whether you take it literally as 40 days or, symbolic.
As a period of focused effort?
Right. It highlights this crucial need for focused, honest purification if we want real insight.
And that image, the wine of the soul needing that time, that dedicated refinement driven by selfless intention, Eklis. It's powerful, isn't it?
It really is.
It's a constant reminder that real growth, deep understanding, it has to start from within. Without that foundation of pure intention, Hafez suggests, profound knowledge just stays out of reach.
Which kind of leaves you, the listener, with a pretty compelling question as we finish our journey through these Marifat talks, doesn't it? What might your own 40-day crucible look like? Maybe not literal days, but what period of focused, really honest inner work might be needed for your own growth, your own clarity?
And maybe how do we even cultivate that deep, selfless sincerity, that akhlasa that Hafez valued so much?
It's definitely challenging, but maybe deeply rewarding too. Something to think about anyway.
May your own journey toward that inner clarity find its way.
We really hope you continue exploring the timeless wisdom we've touched on from Hafez and the Marifat discussions. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through Wisdom Unveiled.